Monday morning, coming off of a very windy weekend in South Central, Bailey.
Yes, it was incredibly windy and, not just windy in South Central, but we also had the first heavy snow of the season for Southeast. So just looking at our weather headlines for today, South Central, you're going to expect more of these wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour in areas like Matsu as well as Thompson Pass. Now, these high wind advisories and warnings will expire into the afternoon. But for Southeast, those temperatures are now dropping into single digits. This is going to begin that plummet towards the end of the weekend, but you're already going to notice a trend with those lows dropping to near zero. Now, those strong winds are adding that wind chill into western Alaska as well as in the interior. However, out in western Alaska, that's mostly where we're seeing much stronger winds happening. So right now, temperatures across the state still seeing pretty chilly in the interior with sub 24 degrees below zero and around 16 degrees in Anchorage. But our high today is actually going to be around 17 degrees, so we're already getting closer to that, but we will drop back down in temperature before we pick back up to reach our high later this afternoon. But out in Bethel, we're only about -2 degrees. Now, that wind chill is the biggest impact we're expecting in western Alaska, so -26-degree wind chill. That's going to really add to that cold temperature on your skin. So if you're working outside or you're spending prolonged time outside, be sure to know your frostbite times, because with strong wind chill such as this around -22 degrees, it's going to take about 30 minutes before that frostbite begins to kick in. And same with Fairbanks, about 20 minutes before that frostbite hits. So just be aware of that. Make sure you bundle up and stay warm if you are outside. And of course, progressing into Tuesday, sometimes that wind chill is going to drop even colder, making that wind chill making that frostbite happen between 5 to 15 minutes. So just be ready for that. But just looking ahead with our wind forecast, most of these winds have shifted into areas like Ketchikan and the southern portion of the Panhandle as that low pressure system starts to spin out. But then into Matsu and even for western Alaska, we're going to start to see a decline in those wind speeds as we progress through the afternoon and even into Tuesday, especially. You're noticing pretty much calm winds across the state as we get closer to Tuesday. But just looking ahead, there's that isolated area of snow by the Copper River Basin, but down in Southeast, Ketchikan and other surrounding areas still seeing some of that moderate snowfall, mostly with that rain, with those high temperatures still sitting above freezing. But Juneau and areas like Haines, Skagway, Yakutat, we're starting to see conditions clearing up, which is good because we had quite a bit of snow over the weekend. Now, that's not the only area continuing to stay clear. All across the state, we're seeing that high pressure keep conditions and skies clear and mostly dry. Into Fairbanks, we're seeing those sunny skies, and up in the north slope, mostly cloudy skies. Otherwise, we're seeing calmer conditions moving through. Now, for that snowfall in Southeast, you can still expect to see just a few more inches collect into areas like Petersburg, but areas like Juneau and Haines, where we saw over a foot of snow over the weekend, you're going to see less of that snow. You're not really going to see too much more for the rest of today, and especially for that week as we begin to clear up going through. Now, you can already see mostly sunny skies forecasted for areas like Yakutat, mostly cloudy skies in Juneau before that begins to clear up, leaving mostly sunny skies for tomorrow as well as the rest of the weekend. Mostly sunny skies from western Alaska all the way to the interior and into South Central.